Hey guys, it's Leo Stargazer. I'm here today with a reading in honor of Mercury entering Capricorn. Mercury enters Capricorn on Friday, December 1st, 2023, and Mercury will station retrograde in Capricorn on December 12th, retrograding back into Sagittarius. So, Mercury is beginning a really important and consequential journey that started a little while ago and takes on a new dimension today. Mercury in Capricorn is going to help us be focused, be disciplined, be clear, maybe a little serious, realistic, definitely, and pragmatic. So really, there's some potential here for severity, for cynicism, skepticism. Not, those things aren't all bad. But with Mercury entering Capricorn, there is a sense that we are going to be really focused on what we are responsible for, and we're going to be very disciplined in that focus. Mercury is in its pre-retrograde shadow already as it enters Capricorn. So what we've been learning recently and what we'll continue to learn up until the 12th of December will be really crucial. The lessons Mercury teaches us, or the clues Mercury gives us right now, are going to be crucial for us to make the most of Mercury's retrograde and stay as focused and disciplined on our responsibilities as possible without losing sight of joy and pleasure and the big picture. So this week I've chosen a fairly practical spread and some practical decks. We're going to be doing a 2-card Lenormand Oracle pull, and this pair will be the basis, the pragmatic basis, for our 3-card tarot spread. We'll be using the Ancient Italian deck and Marseille deck. So with these cards and with this spread, I want us to try to stay boundaried and focused. I want us to stay engaged and sharp, and try not to dive too deep or get too fuzzy on what we're focused on. So let's hope that these cards help us with that, and let's hope this spread gives us sharp clarity. Okay, so as I shuffle the Lenormand deck, let's focus on Mercury. How was Mercury's transit through Sagittarius? Where is Capricorn in your chart? Now, let's take a deep breath and let's pull this pair. Okay, the first card in the pair is the snake. Okay, the second card is the clover. Well, this pair I was not expecting at all. I don't know why sometimes I have expectations because they're usually surprising. I really was not expecting to see these cards. And getting the snake and the clover doesn't necessarily help us to be the most pragmatic or straightforward as I thought. There is a sense here with the snake that we could be pulled in different directions. There's a dynamism with the snake that is hinting that it's going to be really important for us to use this disciplined, focused responsibility and objectivity to really suss out any kind of questionable behavior, questionable facts. The snake can lead us to some beautiful, vibrant self-understanding, or it can lead us astray, be deceptive, and create illusions. Getting the clover right next to the snake, though, implies a lighthearted, potentially lucky, opportunistic idea of what the snake will ultimately bring. So, the way that I'm seeing this so far is that as the basis for our spread, we have the potentiality for some intense beauty or intense deception, and the idea that luck may be on our side, however the snake decides to show up for us. I find that really intriguing. I think the tarot cards hopefully can provide us even more clarity, but I do think that, again, I'm trying to stay focused in this interpretation, stay almost regimented in this interpretation. And I think seeing the snake, it says, check out what's happening. Be as analytical as you possibly can be, almost disciplined in your analysis of opportunities, directions, facts, paths that are presented to you or that you come across. But the clover also does say, take it all lightly, take it in stride. If you find out someone's deceiving you, do what you need to do to overcome that and protect yourself from that. But the clover says it might not be as serious as we think. Mercury and Capricorn can be very serious. So I think the clover showing up here says, maybe we should approach all of this with a light heart. Hopefully that will help, but let's look at the tarot now. Okay, so as I shuffle the tarot, let's look back at the snake and the clover. Let's try to stay lighthearted, but also know that we're going to need an analytical sense of what is shown to us, what we discover with this transit. So I'm very interested to see how the tarot shows up. Let's take a deep breath. Let's try to look at the clover as much as we can. And then let's draw our 3 cards. Okay, the first card I draw is the 9 of Cups reversed. Interesting. Next card, the Moon. Intriguing. Okay, finally, complete our picture. The 3 of Cups reversed. Okay, with this spread, the way the tarot cards played out, it seems that this sense of dual possibilities is even more strong when it's attached to our approach, which I find very intriguing. Before I even start on the tarot interpretations, though, I want to look back to the clover and remember that we need to approach all of this with a light heart and understand a little bit that there's a sense of opportunity and luck on our side. Now, the first card we drew was the 9 of Cups reversed. The 9 of Cups reversed showing up here is showing me that we are, on one hand and on one side, looking really deeply into our sense of self, our sense of space, our sense of resources. We are breaking through surface and superficiality and using potentially the snake, potentially just Mercury's intense focus in Capricorn, using all of that to dive really deep into the true reality of the situation. Not just staying on the surface, not just focusing on how we can stay the most comfortable, but diving really deep and really engaging. The next card we got was the Moon. So from that place of super focus and diving deep and understanding stuff beneath the surface, the Moon shows up to, again, emphasize that sense of surface, but also to emphasize the potentiality for illusions. Again, hearkening back to the snake. This idea that our unconscious self, maybe what we find when we dive deeper under the surface, the unconscious self may be a little bit full of mystery and illusion, stuff that could lead us one way or the other. The snake could lie in that space where you may feel uncomfortable and not as disciplined and regimented and responsible as you may want to be. The other side of that, potentially the other side of the illusion, potentially the other approach to the path, potentially the other direction the snake leads us in, is the 3 of Cups reversed. The 3 of Cups reversed shows up here to almost imply the opposite approach as the 9 of Cups reversed. Meaning that instead of diving really deep into a sense of understanding and communicating and study, we are just being a little frivolous and fun and engaging in extreme pleasure and not focusing so much on the purpose of all of that or having any of it have any purpose at all. That's, of course, a direction the snake can lead us in. And sometimes that can seem negative, or sometimes, especially when the clover shows up, dealing and engaging with pleasure for pleasure's sake could bring an intense sense of enlightenment and potentially clear out some of the illusions represented by the Moon and maybe by some of the, let's say, more dynamic approach of the snake. The clover shows up. The clover showed up. The clover is demanding focus. The dynamism and borderline duality of this spread and the duality in the directionality of the snake needs the clover. We get the clover. The snake could take us in either direction. The snake could take us towards extremes that are really fulfilling or really frightening and maybe illusions. The snake could help us understand a deeper side of ourselves and guide us towards a path of such intense self-understanding that we're also able to break through the illusions and find our true sense of self. The Clover says it's all good, it's all fun, it's all light. Take it easy. You're going to be pulled in multiple directions. Mercury in Capricorn, going retrograde, going back into Sagittarius. We're going to be learning a lot of stuff with this transit. And the snake is going to show up one day as something else and another day as a different thing. We need to trust ourselves, and we need to trust the Clover by taking it all in stride, being really lighthearted, being really positive and optimistic as all of these shifts happen. The Clover is the most important piece here because while, yes, all of the journeys that we go on, depending on the direction the snake takes us and why and if we follow and where it leads, if we balance the idea that we need to dive deep sometimes and sometimes we just need to have fun, but that there could be illusions around every corner and that diving in or staying on the surface is going to help clear out different kinds of illusions and different parts of our unconscious. But if we just approach it all with a light heart, we can clear any illusions, uncover our unconscious. We can let the snake guide us appropriately, dive deep when we need to, have fun when we need to. We can take everything seriously. We can go on these deep journeys. We can be super focused and disciplined and responsible, but we need to approach it all with a light heart and optimism. Mercury is entering Capricorn, but like I said, it'll retrograde back into Sagittarius, where optimism and the big picture will regain control. The snake lies in between. Let's go to these extremes. Let's find our deepest sense of self, and let's use discipline and fun to make the most of this transit. We're gonna need it as we learn all of these difficult but really important lessons. We're gonna need to keep it light. So look to the Clover and engage in happiness. A disciplined, focused sense of joy could be just the ticket. Trust the Clover. I'll see you next time.